Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is statistics, chapter number 13. Okay, chapter number 14. Okay, and I request you all students to kindly get your textbooks because this is a print that I am having. I am not sure, as usual, whether this is clearly visible for your people on the paper or not. So in the first, this statistics is basically the chapter deals with what? See, the statistics, the intention of the chapter is to deal with huge amount of datas. Huge amount of datas. Actually, the plural also is data. Like when we say huge amount of data, then what are the huge amount of data? Like supposing if there are number of students are there in your school, and if we consider the if we have to maintain the record of the students in the school, then the school will have to maintain the name of the student, address of the student, birth year, birth date of the student, and then of course the result, marks. This becomes a huge data. Just imagine in a class there are about, on an average we can consider 50 to 60 students in a class. Then supposing there are 2 to 3 divisions, then 150 students are there in one standard itself. 10 standards will make 1500 students. That will give you such a huge information you have to maintain. 1500 names, 1500 birth dates, 1500 addresses, and then 1500 marks for every exam. This becomes a huge information. When this information is stored anywhere, then we say that is a data. And how to maintain that data is very important, my dear students. Now, this is just a school I am talking about. Just think about a company which has got around 4,000, 5,000 employees with them, or a company which has got lakhs of employees. Okay, you can consider like supposing BMC, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. A municipal corporation has employees in the number of lakhs. So when they have those employees, then you have to keep the names of the employees, the birth dates of the employees, then when they are going to retire, then you have to know the daily data, what time those people have come to their jobs and what time they are leaving from their jobs. Then what we accordingly their salary will be calculated, then what will be the salary given in every month. If you consider data, that is going to be a huge information that you have to store. Then they also have to maintain the data of tax that is being applied, levied on a employee. So that tax they have to consider, and then sometimes they deduct the tax per month entire, because sometimes what happens, employees have to pay tax of 70,000, 80,000 rupees. So if that tax they are going to pay in the month, in 1 month, of course in March or April, like, then it becomes a huge amount. Sometimes because employees don't get any salary in that month. So what happens then, the company takes the responsibility of deducting the tax of 75,000 yearly tax. They make it an installment basis, and on installment basis they deduct the tax. So that data also they have to maintain, what is the tax that has been levied on an employee, and then accordingly what will be the installment per month, so that the employee doesn't find it very difficult to pay the tax. Then that data again is there. So these are some examples of data, and if you consider, this data also can go in crores, especially when you consider the country, the data of the country. When you consider the data of the country, the people living in that country, we know we maintain Sensex. Sensex is basically census. Census is basically the citizens in that country. Then we also try to maintain the record of 18 years, the citizens who are above 18 years, and citizens born, citizens who have expired. We try to keep the data of this also. So this all how to maintain these huge amount of data comes into statistics. Data, whenever a firm is run, whenever an idea is taken, is generated, data becomes a very important thing. Let it be any idea, my dear students. Tomorrow, if you feel that tomorrow you are going to make a project, now you all are making a project on a very short term basis, like you are making a dam and then you try to make the dam and then that's all. But supposing if you have to really maintain the whole procedure of the dam, then you will have to maintain data. You will have to maintain data means you will have to consider the items that you have been using in that procedure of making a dam, project of a dam. Then what all things you needed, cardboard you needed, how much cardboard you needed, what was the rate of the cardboard, then papers you needed, then some sand you needed, then what was the quality of the sand, what was the rate of the sand. Then that data, that becomes a data, and then you will come to know, if you really try to maintain each and every information where what you made, what each and every information that was generated when you were making the project of a dam, you will come to know that that takes entirely not less than 3 to 4 pages if you really go to write in detail information of your project in table form. Usually these type of data, they are written in table form. Now what happens, there are two types of data. One is primary data and the other one is secondary data. This is for your information. Primary data, like example, I took the example of a project that you made. When you make the project and then that you are going to maintain and write the information of that, that comes into primary data, because you are going to the field. You are going into the field and you are taking all the required records and you are maintaining the records and you are going to generate that data. So that becomes a primary data. On the contrary, supposing if you go to school library and you ask the school librarian that previously has any student tried to maintain a data when he or she was making a project, and if the librarian says yes, I do have few students have tried to maintain the data when they made some different projects, so you tell that okay, I like to have a look at those projects, and then you try to learn from that how did they maintain data and what was their data. Then that data becomes secondary data. When you go and approach any organization, any person, any firm, any group of people who have data with them, recorded authentic data with them, and from those resources, when you achieve a data, it is called as secondary data. This is called as secondary data. Okay, so now let us see when it comes to the exercise 14.1. What are they asking us there? Give 5 examples of the data that you can collect from your day-to-day life. Okay, so when we consider this, so now what all things can you generate a data when you consider? See, definitely we can consider name of your friends, all the friends that you know in your society, outside the society, school, wherever is that. That the name of your friends, the birth date of your friends, age of your friends, address of your friends, that can be one type of a data. Second, we can think about, what can we think more? The number of books. Now this number of books can be any number of books. Books, story books, school textbooks, school books, whichever you have learned till now. Number of books means any book that your hands have handled. It can be a textbook, it can be a notebook, it can be a journal, means all related to the school. Then it can be story books, they can be magazines, they can be editorials. They can be any that you think are the books that you have gone through, you maintain the record of that. That also can be a type of a data. Okay, another one that I can think of is bills. All the bills that you think you are coming across. It can be hotel bills, restaurant bills, they can be petrol pump bills that you think you are able to handle those. When you maintain those records of the bills, then we can say that that is basically the data. Okay. Again, we can think about, supposing now we have finished with the IPL. We have finished with the IPL and you want to maintain the record of performance of players, performance of players or performance of teams. For that, you constantly stay in touch with the television and you see whatever the scoreboard is there. You constantly keep in touch with the scoreboard and you maintain a record out of that. Okay, this can be also your one thing that you are liking to have a record of that. Okay, certain things of this fashion are there. We can slightly try to go to the higher level. Supposing if you want to know the performance of the students of your school. See, I am trying to stay at the level where you feel that it's okay, that you can handle that. Performance of students of your, means ex-students of your school, like who was the topper, first 10 rankers of year 2019, first top rankers of 2018, first top rankers of 2017. And if supposing in relation with that, if you want to maintain more data, like what was their record during the prelims exams, what was their record during the 9th standard, if you try to make that data, that is again one type of data. You are wanting to have this data because when you are going to give your board exams, so you will be able to understand where do you lie, where do you stand. Okay, or any other student of yours, any friend of yours, she wants to know that where the student is standing at present. So that data can help that student to perform. Okay, I am at a very lower level. These students who have been the toppers, first 10 rankers of the school, they have had records of so and so type, and my record is over here. So I have to improve my record in this manner, or I have to maintain my record in this manner. So I should be able to stand among the first 10 rankers in the school when I complete the school. This can guide you in this way. But try to understand, my dear student, there can be a higher level records also that can be maintained. Like if we think about, population in the year 2019, 2018, 2017, how did it increase or whether it decreased. If any year it increased drastically, then what can be the reason that it increased drastically? If any year it decreased drastically, like in 2020, you may find that there is a decrease in the population in Mumbai. It can be possible. Or that can be the reason, because you know that it's the pandemic over here now. So that record again is there. Like this, again, if you go to a much higher rate, then you can also try to maintain the record of income, annual income of citizens of India. Annual income. Like on an average basis, what is the income of a person? If you try to maintain that record, that also can be a record that you have to maintain. So these are the records. And now this case takes care of question number 1. And now we have to move to question number 2. In question number 2, what they ask us? Classify the data in question 1. So this is the question 1. Above as primary or secondary data. Primary data means, I told you, when you are going in the field and you are making your own record, that is called as primary data. And secondary data is when actually anybody has already maintained a record, anybody has already kept the record of that, and you go and from that maintained record, when you make your data or you fetch your data, then that is called as secondary data. Remember, secondary data is most of the time more reliable compared to the primary data. So name of friends, your name of friends, your name of friends, your friends' ages, addresses and everything you are going to write. This is going to be primary data. Number of books that you have handled, this also is going to be primary data because you are going to see it. Electricity bills, you have to maintain it, you have to see what is the bill that you have paid. This also can be a primary data. Performance of players, definitely this can be a secondary data because now you will be going to the site of the IPL board and see what is the performance of the players over there. Take the information from there and make a data of your own. So this is going to be a secondary data. Similarly, performance of ex-students of your school again will be definitely secondary data because you will have to go to the school records, see what are the percentages of the school according to the records of the school, and then you will have to keep that record. Of course, if the same thing, if you go to the students, if you somehow manage to go to the student's house and maintain the record of that, then that same thing will become primary data. Same thing will become primary data provided if you really go to the students, every student's house and you pay a visit to them and you ask them these questions and take the information from them and then maintain the record, then that becomes a primary data. Same record when you go to school and from the recorded data you make your own data, then it becomes a secondary data. Okay, my dear student, in this way this is primary data and secondary data. Now we can move to the next level of this chapter, that is statistics. That is actually now we will be doing 14.2. Before actually when we deal with 14.2, this is again very easy exercise. I don't think I will be solving each and every exercise over here, each and every problem over here. I will just try to solve one or two questions of each type because this is going to be the same. But only when you make a data, then we use a frequency table. This you have to understand. A frequency table is supposed to be maintained. And when you make a frequency table, one is just a frequency table, which actually is called as ungrouped. What is ungrouped and the other one is grouped frequency table. Grouped frequency table. Now what is the purpose of this? Grouped frequency table. This is also table. Now what is the purpose of this? See, when you are going to maintain a data of your friends, or maybe your IPL team members' performance, then you have to write ungrouped because each number, each name, each age, each date of birth and everything will come. So that will be in a ungrouped because every person has got its own identity. And usually what happens, this happens when there are countable number of records. The record is countable or that time ungrouped frequency is used. In grouped frequency, what happens when the data is huge? Like example, if you want to know height wise health of the people. If you want to know health of the people, you are maintained the record, right? Okay, so you have maintained the record of the health of the people who are healthy, who are having some diseases, who are having what type of diseases. This data is maintained by you and this is going to be in lakhs and lakhs and lakhs and lakhs. But supposing now you have to study the data. Now supposing you have to know that how many people are healthy. Means what type of people are healthy. Try to understand what I am telling. What type of people are healthy. Then you will make a group. Like supposing the people who have height of 4 feet to 5 feet. Then what is their health? Another 5 feet to 6 feet. What is their health? 6 feet to 7 feet. What is their health? Are these people healthy? Are these people healthy? Are these people? Because now you know when you go between 4 feet and 5 feet, there are going to be lakhs of people over here. There are going to be lakhs of people over here. Lakhs of people over here. So and instead of considering each and every person and then considering his health, it is better you group that data 4 feet to 5 feet, 5 feet to 6 feet, 6 feet to 7 feet. Then that this is called as grouped frequency table. You have made a group of that data. Now coming to this, my dear student, now what I am trying to tell you, this may not be in your syllabus now. One is continuous group. Continuous group means, see here, 4 feet to 5 feet, 5 feet to 6 feet, 6 feet to 7 feet. Okay? Or we can take 3 feet to 4 feet. Now what happens, this here when we talk about a group 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, try to understand these. One is called as a class. This one level, this one group is called as a class. It is also called as a group, first group, second group, third group, fourth group. Similarly, first class, second class, third class, fourth class. And every class starts from somewhere and ends to somewhere. So this where it starts, this is called as lower limit. Lower limit. And where it ends is called as upper limit. Remember this. Lower limit, upper limit. Apart from that, there is also one thing. See, try to understand. Class, first I've explained you what is a class. This is a class. This is a second class, third class, fourth class. Each is a class. And each class has a starting point and an ending point. Starting point, which basically you should not use. This is not the right word to use, starting point. It has starting point is called as its lower limit. Every class has a lower limit. Lower limit means there it starts. And it has an upper limit. Over there it ends. Every class has a lower limit and upper limit, and then it has a class mark. Class mark means every class has a class mark. Every class has a class mark. And what is that? Whatever is the lower limit plus whatever is the upper limit, add the two. Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. When you do this, that becomes a class mark. Every class will be having its class mark. The class mark, first class mark is going to be what? Lower limit is this, 3 plus 4, 7 upon 2. That will give you 3.5. Fine. If I talk about the second class mark is going to be what? 4 plus 5, 9 upon 2. That will be 4.5. Third class, it is going to be 6 plus 5, 11 upon 2, 5.5. And fourth class, 6 plus 7, 13 upon 2, that will be 6.5. So this is the class mark of first class, this is the class mark of second class, this is the class mark of third class, and this is the class mark of fourth class. Okay? And always remember, class mark is always in the middle. 3 and 4 ka middle is 3.5, 4 and 5 ka middle is 4.5, 5.6 ka middle is 6.5. 5.5, 6 and 7 ka middle is 6.5. So in this way you have to understand this lower limit, upper limit and class mark. Also there are many more things to learn when it comes to the classes. Many more things. But at present I am giving you a raw information of what is a class. See, I am repeating. When it comes to frequency table, one is ungrouped frequency table where you write independent data, you don't form a group. This is very easy to handle. The other one is grouped frequency table where you form a group of information and then you provide the information according to a group. That is called as grouped frequency table. In grouped frequency table, again there are two types. One is continuous group and another one is non-continuous group. Now why I am telling you, see here, well, when a grouped frequency table is there or a grouped frequency table is there, there will be classes over there, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Each class has a lower limit and has a upper limit and has a class mark. Upper limit is the upper boundary, lower limit is the lower boundary, and the class mark is the middle of the class, is exactly the middle position of the class. Now what happens? See, when this is the first class, 3 is the lower boundary, 4 is the upper boundary or upper limit. When the upper limit becomes the lower limit of the next class. When the upper limit becomes the lower limit of the next class, every time. See here, this 5 is the upper limit. That goes and becomes the lower limit of the next class. 6 is the upper limit. This goes and becomes the lower limit of the next class. When this happens like this, then this is called as continuous group. Because the upper limit is continued as a lower limit in the next group. So simple to understand. And non-continuous means when this will not happen. Like supposing if we have 3 to 4, then it will be 5 to 6, then it will be 7 to 8, then it will be 9 to 10. Here the upper limit is not continued in the next class. The upper limit is not continued in the next class. So this is called as non-continuous class. Non-continuous grouped frequency table. Usually, but in your standard and your syllabus, everywhere you will be having this continuous grouped frequency table. Why I am stressing this to you, the reason for this is, see my dear students, you have understood lower limit, you have understood upper limit, you have understood class mark. Fine. Lower limit is the lower boundary, upper limit is the upper boundary. Average of this 3 plus 4 upon 2 is going to be the class mark of this class. One more thing is there, that is called as height of class. This is called as height of class. Now what is height of class? Height of class is difference between two consecutive lower limits or upper limits. Two consecutive lower limits or upper limits means what? Consecutive lower limits means this and this are consecutive, one after the other. Lower limit of second class, lower limit of the fourth class. Two immediate next to next lower limits when I subtract, or two immediate next to next upper limits when I subtract. They can be immediate upper limits, next to next upper limits. I can subtract this also. Difference between them, 5 minus 4, 1. 6 minus 5, 1. 5 minus 4, 1. 6 minus 5, 1. 7 minus 6, 1. I have to subtract consecutive lower limits or consecutive upper limits. That difference is going to be the height of that class. But now what happens, my dear students? Whether I subtract this 4 minus 3 or I subtract this 4 minus 3, how is it going to make any difference? This is not going to make any difference because it is a continuous group. Same question if they would have asked for this, and if you will consider, okay, I will make this 4 minus 3, 1, then that is going to be wrong, because now the height is always is 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3. 2 is going to be the height over here. You can take any consecutive. 8 minus 6, up, higher minus lower. You have to see the difference between the two consecutive lower limits or consecutive upper limits. Difference between the two consecutive. Consecutive means one after the other, immediate next. Consecutive lower limits or consecutive upper limits. These both are upper limits. These both are upper limits. Okay. Now if I take it this way, then that is going to give me wrong height. Then the height will be wrong. That's why you have to pay attention over here whether the given group is a continuous group or a non-continuous group. Okay. If it is continuous group, then it is going to be very easy. But if it is non-continuous group, then the height will be definitely wrong. Okay. One more idea is there, but at present I'll keep myself limited, because actually we have already gone far more ahead of the portion, and especially of the exercise 14.2. I'll try to solve, because in exercise 14.2 they are just concentrating on making a frequency table and trying to answer certain questions from those frequency tables. So if I go to consider solve 14.2 question number 1. What are they asking? The blood groups of 30 students of class 8 are recorded as follows. So we have A, B. So this is the group of the blood groups A, B, O, A, B. First we should see what all type of groups are there. A is there. Group number, blood group A, blood group B, blood group O, blood group AB. That's all. That's all. These many groups are there. These many blood groups are there. The blood groups of 30 students, these are 30 students, okay, of class 8 are recorded as follows. Represent this data in the form of frequency distribution table. Frequency. Sorry, my dear students. form of frequency distribution, not group frequency table. As it is, how will you make a group of this? Forget about that. But still, frequency distribution table, make a frequency of this, which, and then they are asking is, this is the first question. Make a frequency distribution table. Then is, which is the most common and which is the rarest blood group among these students. So this I am telling you, in this exercise, they are confined to, they are limited to making a frequency distribution table first of all, and then they will ask certain questions from where you will be getting the answers of this from that chart that you have made. Okay, my dear student, so with this now we can start to make here. So usually when we make this type of frequency table, there are 3 columns that are required. One is basically the name of the group. It can be the name of the group, whatever group you are using, or it is name of the identity, whichever you are using. So here we are going to use blood group. Blood group. This is the identity we are going to use. And then we are going to take tally. And then we are going to take frequency. Frequency is basically, you will come to know what is frequency is basically how many times it is getting repeated. That is called as frequency. How many times it is getting repeated. How many times it is occurring again and again. That is called as frequency. So now first, because we know that these are the only blood groups available, A, B, O and AB. These are the only blood groups available. So I will take only this. And now if I go to check this, see now what you have to do. You have to make 4 marks, always 4 marks like this. And the 5th mark you have to strike this hole. So this makes it clear that this is going to be a bunch of 5. So you don't have to keep on counting every time. This is going to be a bunch of 5. See here now, A, B, O, O. I am reading it like this, A, B, O, O. So, A, B, O, O. I hope you all are getting. A, B, O, A, O, B. O, A, O, B. Now I have to be careful, this is 4. Now next time O comes, I have to strike this all. A, O, B, A. A, O, B, A. O, 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 O. A. This again I have to strike with 5th one. A, B. O, double A, double O. O, double A, double O. AB, B, A, O, B. B, A, O, B. A, B, O. A, B, O. So this is over. That means now what happens, this is the table I have made. This is going to be 5 plus 4, 9. 5 plus 1, 6. 5 plus 5, 10 plus 2, 12, 3. This is the frequency. That means A has occurred 9 times over here. If you count A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Similarly, B has occurred 6 times, O has occurred 12 times, AB has occurred 3 times over here. That is the meaning of this. Of course, but you have to make this lines properly, my dear students. If you really want to make your table really presentable, you should make the table properly. Okay, always maintain the uniformity of the table. Try to see that the columns of your table are of the same width as much as possible, and if you are going to really make them unequal, then see that you have proper reason behind it. Okay, this is the frequency distribution table. Frequency distribution table. And now what are they asking next is that, see, there are certain questions that they are asking. Which is the most common? Most common means which actually will be having maximum frequency, that is called as most common. So you see here 12 has got maximum frequency, that is most common, that is O. Okay, fine. So the most common blood group is O. Fine. If you want, you can make it like this, double quotes. And which is the rarest? The rarest blood group is, what is the rarest blood group over here, which has got the minimum frequency 3, which is 3 AB. And blood group among these are, but that's all. Which is the most common and which is the rarest blood group among these students? This is the answers. Okay. So now let's go to question number 2, my students. In question number 2, what is happening is that they have given us the distance in kilometer of 40 engineers from their residence to their workplace were found as follows. Then they are telling, this is the information given. Construct a grouped frequency distribution table with the class size 5 for the data given above, taking the first interval 0 to 5, 5 not included. 5 not included means you have to not include 5 in this class. You have to include 5 in, means the upper limit is not included. You have to write the upper limit in the next classes. And the group they have told is 0 to 5. This is basically what it is, distance, which is given in kilometers. Next will be tally and then will be frequency. This is definitely fixed. Now they have told us to make a group of 0 to 5. So now when you make a group of 0 to 5, the 5 will continue over here, 10. But then where it will go up to? This will go up to what? For that you have to refer, see what is the greatest number. 32 is going to be the greatest number over here. There is no entry which is greater than 32. So we will have to go greater than 32 means up to 30 to 35 we will have to go. 20 to 25, 25 to 30 and then 30 to 35. This will take care of all the required datas. Now 5 is not included, means 5 will not come in this group. We have to always follow the lower limit. We have to make the entry in the lower limits. Okay. So now let's start. 5, 19, 7, 12. 5 will go into the lower group. 5, 19, 7, 12. 3, 10, 9, 14. 3, 10, 9, 14, 10 again here, 12, 7, 2, okay, 12, 7, 2, 20 will go in the lower group, 20, 17, 8, 9, 17, 8, 9, 25 will go here, 18, 3, 6, 18 will go here, 3 will go over here, 6 will go over here, 11, 11, first I will take care of this, 11, 11, 5, 15, 5 will come over here, 15 will come over here, lower groups, 13, 32, 12, 13, 32, 12 will come over here, 15 will go in the lower group again, cancel this, 7, 17, 7, 17, 15 will go in the lower group, 7, 12, 16, 18, 6, 12, 16, 18, 6, 31, 2, 3, 12, 31, 2, 3, 12. So what we get over here, 5, 10 plus 1, 11, 10 plus 1, 11, 5 plus 4, 9, 1, 1, 2. This is what we will get, and this is going to be your frequency distribution table. Now, what are the questions that they are asking? What main features do you observe from this tabular representation? What main features means? Then now this you can write about according to your observation. So I can say here that 40 engineers. 40, see this is very important again. If I add all these, what do I get? 11 plus 11, 22, 22 plus 5, 27, 27 plus 9, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. This is right. This should match, my dear students. Even in the previous question, this data, the previous question they were given, there were 30 students over here. So these data should match to become 30. Only then chances of yours, chances are there, it can be right. It's not that it is going to be right only now, because still you can make some mistakes over here and still you may get wrong. But definitely if this is not matching, if this you are getting 39 or 41 over here, then it is definitely wrong. Okay, wrong tally is definitely wrong. Wrong total is definitely wrong. Right total does not mean that it is definitely right, but it can be anyway now. So that is the meaning of that. Now coming to this here, what are the main features? So when we see here, see, we can say that the engineer staying at a distance of 5 to 15, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. Here 5 to 15 are maximum 11 engineers each. Okay, so engineers staying at distance 5 to 10 and 10 to 15 are maximum. Okay, similarly, engineers staying at distance 20 to 25, 25 to 30 are minimum. Okay, like this you can write. Even more if you want something more, this can be one of the main features. This is one of the main feature. Anything else? These are the main features. This, even if 2 if you write, then also it is more than sufficient. Okay, so like this is basically the idea, I think, and now you should be able to solve or make, how many questions are there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there can be more. I will do one thing. One more grouped frequency, or see, basically this is the basic idea. I don't find any reason that why you should be having any difficulty in this. I will request you all students to kindly make the tables of this and try to see here also you have to make up. I'll just go through the questions. Here also construct a group frequency distribution, and they have given you the group 84 to 86, 86 to 88. So if you'll see here, the group is what? 84 to 86, 86 to 88, etc. And this will go up to what? Up to, if you'll see, 99.2 is over here. 98 I was supposed to go. 99.2 is the higher. Is there anybody higher than 99.2? No, there is nothing higher than 99.2. That means you will have to go up to 100. 84, 86, 86, 88 to 90, 92, 92, 92 to 94, 94 to 96, 96 to 98, and 98 to 100. These are going to be your groups. And then what are they asking? Now this we have to make the entry over here, that's all. 98.1 will come over here. 98.6 will still go into this, fine. 99.2 will still go into this. 90.3 will go over here. Now see here, when you have any figure which is actually now they have not given over here 86 included or not included. They have not given over here. It is up to your choice. You can keep it 84. You will continue writing with the lower boundaries, no problem. It is your choice now. And then tally that. Then accordingly, which month or season do you think this data is about? So because see here, this is relative humidity. Humidity is very high over here. It is close to 100. Percentage means 100. Humidity in the atmosphere is very high. So definitely this is going to be a rainy season, rainy month. It can be June, July. Okay. what is the range of this data? Range of this data means you have to consider the highest number, 99.2. This is the highest value, and which is the least value, 89 in 80s, 86.5. Just check what is there in 80s, 86.5, 86.5, anything less than 86.5, 84.9. 84.9 is going to be the lowest value. So 99.2 minus 84.9, subtract this, and that is called as the range of the data. Range of data. Okay, so this is how we are going to do, my dear students. I hope you should be able to do this. There is not a big deal over here. Now here they have given you 160 to 165, 165 to 170. So here it will, the group will be, what is this? The height of students. So you will write height of students, okay, in centimeters. Fine. So here the first is 160 to 165, 165 to 170. Now this will continue up to what? 170 to 172. That's all. We have got 173, but nothing more than 175. And that's all. So these are the three classes only that you have to do. And now you can go on entering 161, 162, 163, 161, 162, 153. That means this we will have to change. As means here it's not going, the start is not given, my dear student. So we will have to change here. 150 can be your start. Anything less than 150, anything less than 150, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. 14. No. So it is going to be 150 to 155, 155 to 160, 160 to 165, 165 to 170, 170 to 175. This way it is going to be. Okay. Now 161, 162, 161, 162, 153, 154, 161. This way you will continue. 150, 164, 159, 152, 159 again. Okay, this way you will continue. And then what can you conclude about their heights from the table? So you can see that height of 160 to 165 is plenty more, or whatever it is. Okay, so in this way, my dear students, try to complete this exercise. If you have any doubt, if you have not understood any question how to solve it, then I will definitely solve that question for you, because this is going to be the same story. Okay, so kindly solve these exercises and then post it in the group, my dear students. I want to see this homework, because I have not solved this whole exercise. Okay, I want to see this homework. This is your homework for Monday. Monday you have to submit this homework, my dear students. Okay, thank you, my dear students. Stay home, stay safe, and most importantly, stay happy, my dear students. Love you all. See you all soon. Bye.